comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, no, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, no, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that.
Welcome back to the final segment of Black and Red TV for the 2025 school year. We're your hosts, Annalise and Isabel. We're going to start off with some breaking news about the 2025 commencement speakers with Ryan, Caroline, and Meredith.
I'm here with Peyton Taylor, a commencement speaker for this year's graduating class.
I'm here with Taylor Braun, and she is a commencement speaker for this year's graduating class.
I'm here with Isaac Hatchett, a commencement speaker. What impact do you want your speech to have?
I want students to take away my main message. I don't want to share that quite yet because I want it to be a surprise for the day of, but I really hope it resonates with them as it did with me, and I want them to carry it with them in their future endeavors.
I really want my impact to really encourage people. I want to make sure people feel uplifted and encouraged after I'm done speaking. I want it to be a good speech that's like funny enough that people enjoy it, but I also want it to be really have a deep meaning.
Just to basically inspire the student body that's graduating and everyone else, whoever's there at the graduation, but to have them remember the message, not really the speech, but the message that it foretold, and hopefully inspire them to do more and live life, basically, experience life past high school and past this hometown 8L to wherever they're going.
Are you nervous?
I am not, which is a hot take because I know the other ones are a little bit nervous, but I've done a lot of speaking with speech and FFA, so I'm kind of feel like I hit my groove and I don't really feel nervous. I'll probably feel nervous day of, but right now, not so much.
I'm nervous for it, definitely. I haven't started preparing as early as I should have, but I'm definitely nervous.
Yes, I am. I mean, I'm talking in front of a giant crowd. I have taken classes and I have done a lot more stuff that has gotten me used to it, but I know I'll still be nervous, but still want to do it.
All right, thank you.
Now onto an investigation about the parking lot trash. Ella, Ethan, and Mason.
Alrighty, here we have some trash around us. We're going to pick it up and start, throwing it in the trash because that's what you guys all should be doing as well.
Now we're going to hand it off to Caleb for some national news.
Habeas Papum. I'm Caleb Clausen, and this is your national news for the month of May 2025. We have a Pope, Pope Leo XIV, born Robert Francis Prevost in Chicago in 1955. He's the 267th Pope of the Catholic Church. But who is he? Why was he chosen? I already said he was from Chicago, but what else about him do we know? Well, we'll start with how he was chosen. After the death of Pope Francis I, the 266th Pope, the cardinals came together. The cardinals of the Catholic Church is a very select, tight group of around 200 people. There's priest, bishop, cardinal, so these are like the super church people, right? They're right below the Pope. And the cardinals came into the process of conclave, which is a very fascinating process in which they're all locked in the Sistine Chapel, and they go through multiple rounds of voting, taking however long it may take. One time it took 10 hours, one time it took 3 years, to choose the next pope through very secret, very sacred tradition. It's a very interesting process. Now, the black smoke came out of the chimney. That meant that there was no new pope. They used chemicals to do that. However, after only 3 rounds of voting, we got the white smoke for Robert Francis Prevost, Pope Leo XIV. Alright, so who is this Robert guy? Where is he from? He's from Chicago. He's born in 1955. And being from Chicago, he actually is it's a very new precedent for the Catholic Church. We've never had a pope from North America, never had one from the United States, never had one from the Midwest, and you'll see a lot of memes online, which I find very funny considering we're in the Midwest here, being like, ooh, new pope is from the Midwest, baptism will now be done in the ranch. Of course, it's all jokes, maybe, but so yeah, he sets a lot of new precedents. One of these is he was the first pope born after World War II, because time waits for no man. Now, in his opening speech, Pope Leo XIV, who was actually quite a dark horse candidate, he was not expected. You could go online. There was many lists of like, oh, who we're expecting for the Pope while the conclave process was happening, and it was this guy named Tagle from the Philippines, this guy named Turkson from Africa, but very few sources had Prevost on their radar. However, in his opening speech, he said that the Catholic Church can be a beacon in the dark world. He also hoped for peace, and he just seems like a very good Pope, in my opinion, as a Catholic myself. Now, why does this matter to everyone else? Well, there's 1.4 billion Catholics worldwide, and billions more Christians worldwide. So even if you're not a Christian or a Catholic, you're still going to feel the impact of the Pope in one way or another. Because I guarantee, even if you are not a Christian, you know at least one. So yeah, that's your national news. I'm Caleb Glosson.
Now we're going to end on a lighter note with some good news with Kelsey and Paul.
What is your good news?
I went to DMAC orientation on May 9th and got my DMAC ID and got my first semester schedule done.
It's grad party season.
School's almost over, like 13 days.
What do you plan to do after school's over?
Working at the pool.
My good news is I'm standing next to a state FFA officer. Super proud. Let's go.
Let's go. This is my last academic week of school.
We have a soccer game tomorrow.
I finally got caught up with all my schoolwork, so I don't have to stress about any extra work or any overdue stuff, so I can just sit back and relax and just kind of wait till the end of the year, and then I'm free for summer.
My cousin got confirmed in the Catholic Church yesterday.
On Wednesday, we're making crepes in French class.
My good news is I had my grad party last week and got that out of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our May segment of Black and Red TV. We'll see you next year. Next. Okay. Thanks for watching our May segment. Okay. We'll see you next year.